Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
Adrian's got on his hat today, and it's got skulls on either side of that thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Very nice. Well, today we're actually going to talk about a Dire Straits song, and we're going to talk about two artists doing it, Dire Straits and Mission Souls. We just looked at Mission Souls doing this song, and it was amazing. It was really kind of a step up even from the already excellent way that they go about doing their cover songs. You know, their interpretations are excellent. I mean, they're basically spot on. In this case, they changed the key a little bit. But hearing that Mission Souls song, we came to realize a lot of listeners had never heard the original. They're like, we don't know this song, but we like it, you know. And so I thought, okay, well, this is a good chance to go back and look at the Dire Straits version. The album that it was on was called Making Movies. It came out in October of 1980. I happen to have a copy right here. It was for demo purposes, but you know how that goes. There's 7 songs on this album. It's their third. It's an amazing record overall. I would say that it's worth listening to. If you find you like this song, I would just go listen to the album, you know, especially the first half. Yeah, so far the only real difference that I noticed was the change in key. But other than that, you know, we think it might have been the first time watching Nisha doing finger picking, especially to that degree. So that's a new skill set for her. And I was impressed with the fact that even their drummer Ice, who is all of 11, was able to internalize that song for 8+ minutes. You know, with all the little intricate fills that happen during the song and everything. So we'll go through, you know, and also we want to introduce people to the song who hadn't heard it, the original. So let's go ahead, check out the song, and we will discuss after.
Tattoo. And I've been riding on a ghost train where the cars they scream and slam, and I don't know where I'll be tonight, but I'd always tell you where I am. In a screaming ring of faces, I seen her standing in the light. She had a ticket for the races, yeah, just like me, she was a victim of the night. I put my hand upon the lever, said let it rock and let it roll. I had the one-armed bandit fever. There was an arrow through my heart and my soul, and the big wheel keep on turning, neon burning up above, and I'm just high on the world. Come on and take a low ride with me, girl. A perfect stranger. She said, baby, let's keep it like this. It's just a cake walk, twist and maybe you step right up and see. Hey mister, give me two now, 'cause any two can play. And the big wheel keep on turning, neon burning up above. Ride with me, girl. money for muscle and another girl I dig, another hustle just to make it big and rock away, rock away. Oh, rock away, rock away. Girl, it looks so pretty to me, like it always did. Oh, like the Spanish city to me when we were kids. Yeah, girl, it looks so pretty to me, just like it always did. Oh, like the Spanish city to me when we were kids. Check it out. She took off a silver locket. She said, remember me by this. She put her hand in my pocket. I got a keepsake and a kiss, and an Aurora dust and diesel. I stood, I was to walk away. I could have caught up with her easy enough, but something must have made me stay. And the big wheel keep on turning, neon burning up above. Yeah, I'm just high on this world. Come on and take a load ride with me, girl. On a tunnel of love. Yeah, love, love. On a tunnel of love. Oh, love, love. And now I'm searching through these carousels in the carnival arcade, searching everywhere from steeplechase to palisades, in any shooting gallery where promises are made to walk away, rock away, walk away, walk away from color coats and Whitley Bay. Had to rock away. And girl, it looks so pretty to me, like it always did, like the Spanish city to me when we were kids. Girl, it looks so pretty to me, like it always did, like the Spanish city to me when we were kids.
Let's discuss the Dire Straits version. First of all, Adrian, before this week, had you ever heard the Dire Straits version?
Not this song, no.
You could hear it sometimes on the radio, but it was definitely not a major hit like several of their other songs were. But it's one of those, it's more of a deeper cut, you know. It's a great song. It's there's so many different moods that are shown off in there. This is entirely Mark Knopfler's song. He is the principal songwriter for this band. On the studio version, they had Bruce Springsteen's piano player, Roy Bittan, playing the piano, you know, doing all of that, right up to the end, you know.
Oh, yeah, the arpeggios or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And you notice the storytelling of it was a little like a Bruce Springsteen song as well. There were some similarities. I always thought Dire Straits and also Tom Petty, who we talked about recently, both have this undercurrent of Bruce Springsteen influence, I think, in what they do. I think that the songwriting is very strong. The parts that are written are really, they work well together. You know, they're written with each other in mind. Like, this didn't come out of a jam, you know? Like, this was carefully written and then arranged. You know, it's like, what can we do here that won't be too much? And it's so great use of dynamics in this song because you can get pretty loud and going and everything and a lot of energy, and you can also bring it way down.
Yeah, there's that part where the song gets really mellow towards the end, and then, of course, it comes back just before it ends.
Yeah, so that is a technique that is used a lot in Dire Straits songs, particularly before Brothers in Arms. I know Brothers in Arms is the album that really broke them huge across the globe. But the ones before that all make even better use of dynamics and more interesting songwriting in general. The songs tend to be a little longer. I mean, this is 8 minutes long. You know?
Yeah. I'm still not completely clear on what the song is about, although I can make some guesses.
Let's go ahead and look at the lyrics. Getting crazy on the waltzers, but it's the life I choose. So this might be one of those where we take a look down below and see, hey, sing about the six blade. Sing about the switchback. Oh, yes. So one thing I want to mention is right up at the top was actually a Rodgers and Hammerstein song called Carousel. That's why it looked like they were on a carousel. Also, there's only 3 members of Dire Straits when this video was done. It used to contain 2 brothers, this band did, and one of the brothers left, Mark and David Knopfler, and David had just left the band. Probably for similar reasons as Creedence Clearwater Revival. One brother's getting a whole lot more attention and control. But yeah, so I'm not sure what the exact lines mean, but let's go ahead and go through. Getting crazy on the waltzers. It's the life I choose. Hey, sing about the six blade, sing about the switchback, and a tortured tattoo. I've been riding on a ghost train where the cars scream and slam. And I don't know where I'll be tonight, but I'd always tell you where I am. In a screaming ring of faces, I've seen her standing in the light. She had a ticket for the races. Just like me, she was a victim of the night. So apparently they hooked up. I put my hand upon the lever, said let it rock and let it roll. I had the one-arm bandit fever. There was an arrow through my heart and soul. He took his chance and he caught her, I think is what happened. And the big wheel keep on turning. Neon burning up above. So you're on the big wheel, the Ferris wheel. The whole thing's always neon, you know, so, and I'm just high on the world. Come on and take a low ride with me, girl, on the tunnel of love. Whether or not it's an actual amusement park situation or not, maybe it's just more about life, writing in metaphors.
Yeah.
It's just the danger when you're riding at your own risk. She said, you are the perfect stranger. She said, baby, let's keep it like this. So let's not be too serious. It's just a cakewalk, twisting, baby. Step right up and say, hey, mister, give me two now, because any two can play. Then the bridge, it's been money for muscle on another whirly gig. Now, another whirly gig is something else you might see at an amusement park. Money for muscle and another girl I dig, another hustle just to make it big and rock away. And girl, it looks so pretty to me like it always did, like the Spanish City to me when we were kids. Maybe they are at an amusement park.
Or Rockaway Beach.
She took off a silver locket, said, remember me by this. She put her hand in my pocket, I got a keepsake and a kiss. And in the roar of dust and diesel, I stood, watched her walk away. I could have caught up with her easy enough, but something must have made me stay. So it's like, well, is it going to be worth it? Didn't sound like she was into anything more than this brief moment. And now I'm searching through these carousels and the carnival arcades, searching everywhere from steeplechase to Palisades and any shooting gallery where promises are made, to Rocker Way, color coats in Whitley Bay. Let's find out where Whitley Bay is. That's way the heck up.
On time.
Yeah, it's almost to Scotland, for Pete's sake. So he's talking about beach destinations. There's kind of a wistfulness here. Spanish City is a dining leisure center in Whitley Bay. It does sound like he's talking about beaches that happen to have parks, amusement park situations nearby. So Whitley Bay is way up in the United Kingdom. Yeah, Newcastle upon Tyne, it's right in that area. So it's kind of a funny lyric sheet for Stacey to be singing, I suppose, in one way. But then again, we're kind of used to younger people now just singing whatever the lyric sheet says on the classic rock songs that we hear them playing. And it's really not an issue. They're covering it. They're homaging, the songs. It's not like they're living these songs necessarily, and that's fine. Let's just listen to some of the very last part of the song with Mission Souls. Sounds about the same to me. I think she did very good studying that one.
Yeah, they even faded out.
Sure they did. Probably seemed like the most logical thing to do. Otherwise, you have to work out an ending arrangement.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's already a tricky song. I'm impressed because they performed that thing live. I mean, except where they couldn't, putting in the keyboards.
I was impressed with the arpeggios on the keyboard.
And you mentioned that there are different keys going on with these two. They're actually playing it in the same key. After you put the capo on, it's the same string movements. I mean, it's the same for the guitar player. That's why they put on the capo. And it may have looked like A flat, but it turns out that the original is in F. So then they played it in A. Well, anyway, so it seems to me that Mission Souls did a very fine job of covering this song, doing the homework, and actually carrying it off. And the fact that they did it live for us is really a testament to how much work they put into it. Congratulations to them again. But I hope this video has also helped listeners more appreciate what Mark Knopfler and Dire Straits did in creating this song, because it's really quite the masterpiece in a lot of ways. And they have other songs just as good on this album, on the album next, which was Love Over Gold. Check out Private Investigations sometime. Maybe we'll check that out. Or Telegraph Road. It's just 15 minutes long, but it's worth it. Or their first album with Sultans of Swing. All great stuff. Any further thoughts, Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, while I was listening to the original, it sounds almost like how the Mission Souls played it, but that's a testament to Mission Souls more than Dire Straits.
Yeah.
But Dire Straits wrote a great song, so.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. Definitely recommend a dive into Dire Straits for those who haven't done it. Go with the early stuff. Like Brothers in Arms is a good album, but listen to the ones before that. That's where the real gold is, if you ask me. So, all right, folks, why don't you give us your thoughts on this comparison, on the original? Were you a Dire Straits fan? Are you a Mission Souls fan? Had you never heard one or the other of these versions before? Why don't you give us your experience on the song and your general thoughts? And yeah, we'll be glad to read about them. If you have other suggestions for us, please leave those below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us on this, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, take care, folks.
See you later.